into my live. I'm excited to have you on my live. We have a lot to talk about. As you know, everything is all about Donald Trump. Give me a moment. I got to turn my do not disturb on. Just can't be disturbed. I forgot to turn my do not disturb thing on. Again, I am Queen Lily. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to talk about. Who? Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, and just a little about President Joe Biden. Just a little. Can we give him a little of our time and love? Okay. So let's give him a little of our time and love. President Joe Biden, okay? But it's mainly about Donald Trump. Y'all know this YouTube channel, we'll be discussing him. Hey, Queen Vera, how you doing, beautiful one? So that's what we're talking about today. Also, be sure to hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. But if you feeling charitable and you want to give me a little tip or something, or you want to look out for me, super chat, super sticker me, whatever you like. Send me gems or whatever gifts or whatever you want to do. Also, in my description, there's my PayPal link. You can just click the link and tip me there. How about that? Also, if you want me to read your comments, send me a super chat. Yes, just send me a super chat. Whatever you say, I'm going to read it, okay? It doesn't matter. We don't have to fight every day, but you can send me whatever you want to send me, and I'm going to read it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. How y'all doing today? How are y'all doing? Let me take a little sip of water right quick, okay? I kind of did a rush job on my makeup, so don't y'all be talking smack today, because I know how y'all are. Y'all will start talking smack about me. I had to do a little rush job on it today. So I'm going to show, let me see what exactly this is. What is this? So I'm going to show y'all something right quick. And it is about Putin and Donald Trump. I'm going to show it to you, then I'm going to read it to you. You see this? Can you see this? Let me know if you can see it. This is what it says. We will take America without firing a shot. We do not have to invade the U.S. We will destroy from within. You remember Donald Trump always says the enemy within, but I figured it out. He's talking about himself. He ain't talking about us American people. And these are the words from Nikita Khrushchev. We will take America without firing a shot. We do not have to invade the U.S. We will destroy you from within. Look at this picture. You'll see exactly what they're saying. Because if you recall, Putin stated that Donald Trump owes him, meaning Russia, because he helped him win the election, you guys. And Donald Trump loved to say the enemy within. Am I wrong? Does he not say that? Yes, he does. He does. One moment, please. We're going to get to the good part, get on the good foot. Today is December the 17th. Life under Trump, number 27, part 27. December the 17th, Life under Trump, part 27. Yes, it is. That's what it is today. Just a moment. December the 17th. So I'm going to show y'all a video, and it has to do with Musk and Trump. Just a moment, please. Thank you all for coming to my live. I am Queen Lily. You are valued. You are welcome. Thank you.
So he was definitely less than a year old anyway. So I went to the fair.
Now that wants to show today, and I don't need that. That's not what I'm looking for. Why is it showing me that? I don't want that. They want to show me the video I was trying to get yesterday. I'll go back to that later if we have time, okay? But this is about Elon Musk and Trump. We're going to let this commercial play, and we're going to get on to the video.
To hers. I got prescribed compounded GLP-1 injections, which have the same active ingredient as Ozempic.
Okay.
You know how every James Bond movie is roughly the same? James Bond starts in a dark office. He's cracking the safe. He pulls out the secret papers. The alarm triggers. The bad guys start popping out of nowhere. He's running away. You're like, oh my God, how's he going to get out? Turns out James Bond's got a detonator. He triggers it. Massive explosion. Everything blows up. And he gets away. title credits, right? That's the beginning of every James Bond movie. The next scene, he takes that information, goes to M, and M's like, "Yo, thank you for this information, Mr. Bond, but you got to go after the real villain." This is where we are right now in the world, and I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. This is the headlines right now. Top Russian general killed in bomb blast in Moscow, right? That explosion I was talking about in James Bond movie is just like this. What is going on behind the scenes? That's the question. Igor Krylov, that's who was killed, was head of the military's nuclear, chemical, and biological defense forces. So this is a very high up general in the Russian military. I guess him and his assistant were killed. There was some sort of bomb on a scooter. And right now we're thinking, okay, who's behind this stuff? Who's the real puppet master here? And what shadow forces are at play? I want to show you guys what we do know. And I also want to say, hey, what we don't know. And I'm curious what you think on this stuff. So, this is a story that came out recently where we know that Musk, that's Mr. Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, and the SpaceX CEO, is essentially having secret talks with Putin. Way more than we thought, right? And this has actually been a big scandal. Already senators are like, yo, what's this guy talking about with Putin for? There's been a call for a probe, but Elon Musk's buddy, Mr. Donald Trump, is going to be going into office in January 2025, and chances are this probe will be called off and everything will just disappear. There's a recent story that just came out today from the Wall Street Journal, and unfortunately, things are getting worse. How are they getting worse? Well, we're talking about security clearances here, and what information does Musk have, and what kind of security risk could he pose to the United States and the world? Basically, what's going on over at SpaceX, they were originally applying for Musk and security clearance, and they were debating, which level do we want to get him? Do we want to get him top secret security clearance or not? And if you're not familiar with SpaceX, essentially Musk company launches spy satellites into space, a bunch of top secret payloads, which you don't even know exactly what's on these things, and essentially deal with sensitive data every single day. So this is a top security risk and priority for the US. Ultimately, his lawyers decided not to, I repeat, not to get him top secret clearance because it just wasn't worth it. It would take too long. Maybe it wouldn't pass. It would jeopardize everything. Essentially, Musk is a security risk, right? His own lawyers are like, he is. Too much substance abuse, out of control, and also too much contact with foreign leaders, etc. So they decided not to get it for him. I'm talking about security, top secret security clearance. What's happening now, and all of this can change, is that Donald Trump is going to become president, and he could just like, you know what? I'm just going to give my first buddy everything he wants, all the info out there. And that's sort of what we're talking about today, and why I think this is a massive, massive scandal in the making, and a massive, massive security risk. And it has a lot to do with our markets. Let me show you guys more what's going on. I actually saw this a week ago. I didn't mention it because there's so much crap that Mr. Musk tweets out all the time, but I want to mention now because I think it's important to point out. This was about a week ago. Elon Musk was like asking Grok, trying to demonstrate how awesome Grok is, right? That's his AI thing over there on Twitter. And he says, you can ask Grok questions about any current events and receive an accurate response with as much detail as you like. This is the question he asked Grok in order to advertise it to his fans. What territorial gains have been made by Russia in the past 2 weeks? Basically, he's celebrating that Russia's taking Ukraine's land. You can't make this stuff up. This is a week ago. And you're putting the pieces together, and okay, what's going on here? And Russia is at the moment is really, really struggling, right? And so, in my opinion, I think Putin's like, things aren't going great for Russia, right? Things aren't going great in Syria for us. If you don't know, Assad fell, basically ran away to Russia. That was supported by Putin. So I think Putin's putting all his concentration on influence in the USA, and that's just my opinion on that. Inflation's really awful over there. And so what I think is also happening, you have this because you have a similar situation all around the world where other currencies are unstable, their economies are unstable around the world, and not that the USA is any much better, right? Because you got Donald Trump coming to the office, but people are retreating either to crypto or the dollar. I think that's what's going on here because you're having massive inflation over in Russia. They even have double-digit interest rates over there. I think it's like 23%, something crazy like that. And you also have this. You have a security risk with Tulsi Gabbard. She's, I think, Trump's, what's it called, the I think it's intelligence, top intelligence pick for her. Yeah, U.S. intelligence chief is what they're going to be calling her. And both Democrats and Republicans are worried about security risks. So you got Gabbard as a risk, you got Musk as a risk, and you got a bunch of money flowing around the world. Now, I understand, guys. I totally get it. Tesla stock has been going to the moon. Trump's, crypto stuff has all been going to the moon, etc. The thing is, like, we don't know where this money is coming from. That's
We have a commercial. One moment, please. One moment. Commercials.
We don't know. We just know there's a bunch of money coming in. We don't know exactly where it's coming from, and this is sort of why I'm putting the pieces together. What's going on now? There's a smoke screen that Musk and his essentially stock promoters are trying to put up, but I think it's all bogus. Here's the smoke screen I'm talking about. So this is one of the Tesla stock promoters. His name is Farzad. I've talked about him before on the channel. This is the kind of crap that he tweets out. This is just 9 hours ago. Have a listen here. This is the first 10 million humanoid robots will come way, way, way faster than the first 10 million self-driving cars. This is literally what he's tweeting about. Self-driving cars have navigate mountains and regulation as they should. Little road missiles should not be taken lightly. This is this crap that he's talking about. Literal road missiles should not be taken lightly, and ensuring the technology is safe is, right? And think about this, guys. If Putin has a direct line to Musk, Musk has now, after Trump takes office, top security clearance. What kind of data? Just think about this. What kind of data would Musk have access to? And this wouldn't even necessarily be even top secret. He would know where all his cars are. He would know where all his robots are, and by connection, right? Putin would be like, hey, Mr. Musk, what would you say if I, gave you like a personal assistant of mine? I have a lot of, really capable Russian engineers, Russian secretaries, Russian assistants that can help, Tesla and SpaceX quite a lot. And Mr. Musk's like, oh yeah, that's really good. Thank you, Mr. Putin. And I think this is how Putin could get a lot of data. And I'm just talking about this, and let alone this. Far as even talking about what some of these cars could be used for. Literal road missiles. This is from Farzad's own word. It's like these people telling themselves without even realizing. That's what's so ridiculous. This is all public. Farzad's also talking about here. What is the recurring yearly revenue of human robot by 2030? Is it this, or this? And then he's also talking about there are 2 billion people between the US, Europe, and China, 400 to 500 million jobs between those three countries that require physical labor. What percent of those jobs would be humanoid robot would be able to do well by the year 2030? So why am I bringing all this stuff up? So first, talking about literal, talking about these cars being missiles, essentially being really, really dangerous. Now we're talking about robots taking people's jobs. So one, it's very ironic that the MAGA people who want their factory jobs to come back to the USA, they voted for Trump, who partnered with the guy who wants to replace them with humanoid robots. One, I don't think the robots are going to work anyway, so I don't think they have to worry. But the idea, though, that they're even looking for someone to replace, said people is kind of ridiculous. The other issue as well is the reason why I call this stuff a smoke screen is because they're trying to essentially explain why is Tesla stock going up. They're not necessarily saying, hey, it's a bunch of foreign money coming in to enrich Elon and his buddies, right? Or, hey, all these, foreign money's coming in to buy crypto and stuff like that. And Trump's getting into crypto, right? People aren't really talking about this. They're just like making up some stupid story that we're all going to be buying humanoid robots and humanoid robots are going to work in every factory around the world. It's utter nonsense. But that's the sort of like misdirection that they're trying to do. And that's sort of why I show you guys everything to the best of my ability. You also have this kind of nonsense. Is this a distraction or is this a real threat? And this is something I honestly don't know. I don't know what to make of this, and sort of I'll just pose this question to you guys. What do you guys make of this drone stuff? And that's the question. Is this?
I'm not interested in the drone part, but Elon's purpose is to get around Trump, get what he needs to get, and get what Putin needs. I think Trump pretty much knows a lot of this already, but Putin and Elon look at Trump as not being smart. So they're going to benefit more out of this connection than Donald Trump will. Elon going to have more of his robots out, his cars. He's going to make, then, big tax deduction, Donald Trump's tax cuts. Ooh, I can't wait to get to that. So everything is about benefiting Elon. And they know Trump is an old guy. He doesn't have much longer. So they're going to use that to their advantage because dementia is creeping up. So Elon is going to take advantage of that. Putin is going to take advantage of that. One moment, please. This video consists of discussing Biden, Musk, and Trump.
Get ready for a holiday WWE SmackDown executive order rumble because Joe Biden just put the boxing gloves on and punched Trump straight in his schnoz over federal workers in this incredibly important story I'm going to tell you about in a couple of seconds. Because what you're going to see is the fact that no matter what Joe Biden is going to do, Donald Trump is conducting himself like he's already president. And if you're not clear on exactly what Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are intending to do to this nation's federal workers, take a look at this just real quick and be reminded how much we are dealing with in terms of this Department of Government efficiency.
Billionaires Elon Musk
Hit
and
the
Vivek
like button.
Ramaswamy,
Thank you.
who will lead President-elect Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, want to end remote work for federal employees. In a recent op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, Musk and Ramaswamy are hoping their plan will reduce the headcount across government agencies. The two tech industry figures said working from home is a COVID-era privilege and tax-paying Americans should no longer cover it. Musk believes that the U.S. government also only needs 99 agencies, not the more than 400 that currently exist.
All government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted.
With the possibility of layoffs, Ramaswamy and Musk have floated the idea of requiring government workers to come into the office 5 days a week.
Anna Dan Grossman looks at one way some people are avoiding returning to the office. I would always assume that return to office means return to office.
FlexJobs career expert Tony Frana says companies with return to office mandates, such as Amazon, are adamant about their policies. But there's one indicator that some managers and employees are trying to bypass workplace rules. It's a trend known as hushed hybrid.
Hushed hybrid is when managers may choose to allow their team members to work remotely at a different cadence than the company suggests.
We launched Office Occasional, which is a remote-first hybrid work environment in 2020.
Andrew Thomas is with the company Kforce, which is number 8 on FlexJobs' list of the top 100 companies for hybrid jobs in 2024.
We had listened to our people so much, and with everything going on in the world, we knew that flexibility was a premium for employees looking for work or candidates looking for work.
Career experts say it's important for companies to think about the potential repercussions of 100% office work.
And the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
Well, Elon, you should have known by now that less isn't necessarily more. Please see your Twitter ex-employees. And more isn't necessarily inefficient because it's about systems, not necessarily people, systems and training. And that's why Joe Biden, in this breaking story, just did this. Breaking news. President Biden has just signed a work-from-home deal for over 42,000 federal workers, which would prevent Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy from ordering them back to office full time. And what is Donald Trump saying to that? Well, he's acting just like you would expect him to act, an 8-year-old child in a corner throwing a tantrum who doesn't even have a ball and bat yet. Listen to what Trump just threatened. In this breaking story, in retaliation to Joe Biden's executive order, Donald Trump vows to fire federal employees who won't return to the office. While workers prefer flexibility as companies roll out return to office mandates, nearly a quarter of workers say their companies rolled out return to office mandates in the past year, despite a preference for remote hybrid work. From Script News. Breaking, Washington. President-elect Donald Trump said on Monday that he plans to fire any federal employees who don't physically return to their offices once his new administration begins, and pledged to challenge in court a Biden-era agreement allowing for remote work. In quotes, if people don't come back to work, come back into the office, they're going to be dismissed. Trump said during a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, his private club and personal residence. Also in quotes, somebody in the Biden administration gave a 5-year waiver of that. So for 5 years, people don't have to come back into the office. He added, it's ridiculous. It was like a gift to a union, and we're obviously going to be in court to stop it. The Social Security Administration and more than 40,000 workers represented by the American Federation of Government Employees Union reached a deal earlier this month that would allow most of those employees to continue working remotely 2 to 5 days per week. Ending remote work across the U.S. government is likely to be a recommendation from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's initiative to cut government spending dubbed the Department of Government Efficiency, or in parentheses, similar to the Bitcoin Doge, D-O-G-E. Musk has long been critical of working from home, which he has called morally wrong. Around half the country's 2.3 million federal employees work fully in person, while the other half are eligible to work remote. According to the Office Management and Budget, around 10% are fully remote. Way back in 2016, in the debate prior to the election with Trump and Hillary Clinton, if you recall, Trump talked about her being in jail. She, of course, noted accurately that Donald Trump should be in jail. But what you can expect, without a doubt, over the next 4 years, just like he's done in his private life by filing bankruptcies, etc., is you can expect the most litigious president in the history of the United States using the executive branch, but looking much more like someone in the private sector trying to either get his way or get out of things that himself or others have gotten themselves into. Whew. Have some spiked eggnog over the holidays and stay frosty. It's just beginning.
Please subscribe to Occupy Democrat. Please. What I feel about people working from home, I think is a good thing. Because I live in the city. The traffic is bad. Just imagine they're on the edge going into work because they've been out in the traffic for hours trying to get to work. So you're not going to be the best employee at work. I've learned from what I have seen and talked to people that work from home, they're more happy. Donald Trump can't stand the idea of happiness. He's not a happy person. He's not a happy man, nor is Elon. That's why they can be friends. And that's why he has him as his second president. But he doesn't know Elon is going to mush him out the way. And Elon is running the White House. And what does Putin do? Come and snatch up America. Mitch McConnell, he does not plan on letting Trump have his way. Mitch McConnell is not going to play by Trump's rules.
Mitch McConnell has a dire warning to the American people about Donald Trump. I'm David Reddish, and this is Occupy Democrats. Mitch McConnell made some major shockwaves this week by issuing an opinion essay published on foreignaffairs.com. In it, he has a dire warning for anyone that cares about American foreign policy over the next 4 years. Before we get to what was so incendiary, we first need to talk about exactly how the nature of the Trump-McConnell relationship works. Anyone familiar with the work of Bob Woodward knows that while Trump and McConnell purport to have a strong working relationship, at least publicly, behind the scenes, they have no love for one another. Trump doesn't understand why McConnell is so obsessed with judicial nominations and appointments, and McConnell thinks Trump's an idiot. He finds him to be crude and hates that he gets interrupted during meetings. Of course, one of the biggest breaks between the two men came in January 2021. That was when Donald Trump incited the Capitol insurrection. Like every other member of Congress, Mitch McConnell had to run and hide for his life that day. That same night, he condemned the violence, but he failed to condemn Trump by name. Privately, however, he did tell aides that Trump had committed an impeachable offense. According to Bob Woodward, McConnell also wept for the state of American democracy. Nevertheless, that did not stop Mitch McConnell from scheduling Donald Trump's second impeachment for after he left office, which gave McConnell and a number of other Republican senators the cover they wanted so they would not have to vote in favor of conviction. They were able to say that it's impossible to impeach a president who's no longer in office. In the 2024 election, Mitch McConnell chose to say nothing during the Republican primaries. He did not condemn Trump nor share any of the issues that he had with him during his first term publicly with voters. He supported Trump in the general election in 2024 and has since congratulated him on his victory against Joe Biden. That makes McConnell's choice to publish this essay now all the more perplexing. After all, the election is already over. Why wouldn't he come out and condemn Trump when it actually mattered to voters? Why not share his concerns then? The answer is quite simple. Mitch McConnell has only one objective: power. Of course, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Anyone with even a passing knowledge of American politics knows that Mitch McConnell cares only about power. And the way he wields power is through obstruction. He is the most obstructionist politician in American history. There's no question about that. You see, Mitch McConnell's not a real leader. Real leaders are inspiring. Real leaders are charismatic. They're persuasive. They rally people to their goals. People like Joe Biden or Barack Obama. They inspired voters. Mitch McConnell does not have any charisma whatsoever. He's not a likable person. In fact, he's kind of hated by members of his own caucus, even openly. So what's he do? He blocks. That's all he's good at. That's all he wants to do. Mitch McConnell's goal is to make Democrats look bad and therefore make Republicans look good by comparison. Forget that Republican policies are detrimental to the American economy. Forget that they hurt the working class. Forget that they only seem to benefit billionaires with massive tax cuts. That doesn't matter. Mitch McConnell's entire philosophy is make sure nothing works unless it's me calling the shots. And when I'm calling the shots, that's when everything will be better. Of course, that's not really true if you're a working class American and you have a family to feed.
Definitely not better with
With
raising
all that-
taxes on us Americans. Definitely not. Hold on, everybody. Just a moment, please. I'm letting the video upload, please. Just a moment. It's hot today here in Atlanta. I think it's about 70 degrees here. And it's supposed to be cold, but it's not.
Jasmine Crockett just summed up Donald Trump's new administration in a perfect and brutal takedown of what we can expect in Donald Trump's new term. Now, you may have noticed that Donald Trump is filling his cabinet with billionaires in every key position, mostly the ones that donated to him during his campaign. And this is what Representative Jasmine Crockett had to say.
The greediest folk in America are now going to be the ones that are going to be running America, because he has decided that the millionaires and billionaires who were investing millions of dollars into his campaign, guess what? They're going to be the ones, regardless of their qualifications, that are going to run the government. But I can tell.
Yeah, Donald Trump has put in place people who aren't qualified, that their only qualification is they donated money and have said nice things about him, and they are now going to be in charge of the government, looking out for their best interest. This is now a government that is for billionaires, by billionaires, and of billionaires. Not for, by, and of the people, but for the wealthiest among us. Donald Trump has not drained the swamp. He has expanded the swamp, and we are all going to pay for it.
Not just expanded. Donald Trump is the swamp. And Trump's taxes, y'all. I feel sorry for America. I do. He promised his people, MAGA, he would not raise the taxes. That's what he said. He wouldn't raise the taxes. He was going to give y'all a tax break. He only giving the rich a tax break.
This snuck by me. Trump's tax plan snuck by me real fast. So if you make less than $28,000, your taxes go up by $790. Okay. If you make $28,000 to $55,000 a year, your taxes go up $1,400. If you make $55,000 to $94,000 a year, your taxes go up $1,500. And if you make between $94,000 and $157,000 a year, your taxes are going to go up almost $1,800. But if you make $157,000 to $360,000, you only got to pay an extra $610. But if you make more than $360,000, you get a nice little tax cut. And if you make more than $914,000 a year, then you get a pretty nice little cute little tax cut, 36,000. A little bonus, if you will. I mean, like, I knew. It's just kind of crazy to see it, in like a chart form. It literally says poorest to richest, and the poorest get a tax increase, and the richest get a tax cut. It's right there, literally in blue and yellow. It's wild to see, Now I'm like, if this goes through, I see that maybe the Electoral College makes over $360,000 a year. I guess so. We'll see how it goes, man.
Higher taxes for the middle class and the more or less fortunate poor people. He made you a promise, MAGA. Donald Trump made you a promise for tax cuts. Oh, but he didn't necessarily lie. He just didn't tell you who was getting the tax cuts. The rich is getting the tax cuts, not you and I. The less fortunate ones that's not rich, we're not getting tax cuts. Not at all. No, we will not be seeing it. Also, good news. New York and Georgia. I live here in Georgia. He doesn't have immunity here in Georgia. New York, the judge said, no, 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 no. No immunity. None. Okay? None. Just a moment. Just a moment. No immunity for Donald Trump. He's not getting away with the felonies, the 34 felonies. The gag order will not be removed. My girl Fannie Willis here in Atlanta, Georgia, I voted for her. Yes, she won. Donald Trump put a Caucasian woman up against her. And Fannie still won. No matter what, she won. So Dunny, she's just much stronger and brighter than, she's a lot brighter educational-wise. Yes. Fannie's smart. She got that from her daddy, a civil rights fighter. That's who she got it from.
Breaking news. Donald Trump is not immune in Georgia, just like New York. Fannie Willis will proceed to move forward with Georgia state charges against Donald Trump for his interference in the 2020 election. Fannie Willis, as you may know, was reelected November the 5th as Fulton County District Attorney, and she is going to continue to move forward against Donald Trump, just like Judge Juan Merchan ruled on.
Hit that like button. Thank you.
Donald Trump is not immune in New York. The charges and the crimes that Donald Trump was charged with, the 34 felonies that he was convicted of, fall under state rules and state laws, and they were not part of Donald Trump's official duties and are not immune from prosecution. Likewise, in Georgia, interference with the state election and state election laws, calling Secretary of State Raffensperger to find the 11,800 and so votes is not part of Donald Trump's official duties. Fannie Willis will continue to move forward with the case against Donald Trump in Georgia, and she will not stop because Trump won the election. Please be aware, both of these situations are state cases. Donald Trump, as president, even if he could pardon himself, which he may or may not be able to do, cannot pardon himself from a state charge and a state conviction, only from federal ones. Only the state laws under each state would be able to do so. I believe in New York, it would be the governor, and in Georgia, there is a state parole board, a state board rather, that decides whether or not someone can be pardoned or not from a state crime, not the governor in Georgia, is my understanding. So, therefore, Donald Trump, even as president, could not pardon himself from the 34 felony convictions in New York, and if he's found guilty in Georgia and convicted of felonies in Georgia, then he will not be able to pardon himself there. those charges and convictions would stand if found guilty in both states. So there you have it. Fani Willis is going to move forward, just like Judge Juan Merchan decided yesterday. Trump is not immune because the duties were not official duties and do not fall under the decision by the Supreme Court. There you have it. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, and my cuckoos. And be aware, there's a case going on in Arizona. And while Trump is not mentioned yet, he can be, because it's proceeding against his same cronies that did the same things in these other states. And I believe there may be a case also moving forward in Michigan. So we'll have to wait to see what happens as we move on into the end of 2024 and 2025. But don't think that the fireworks in Georgia and New York are over with yet. They are not. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out light bulbs. Surprises will be coming.
I like that dude. I like him. Yeah, I like him. Good old dude. One moment, please. Good old Elon Musk and Donald Trump some more. Yes. Y'all know y'all love him.
Musk didn't invent Tesla. He bought it. Musk didn't invent SpaceX. He bought it. Musk didn't invent Starlink. He bought it. Musk didn't invent Trump. He bought him.
Now that is funny. Musk didn't invent anything. He bought it. He bought Trump too. But y'all said Trump is a strong man. A strong man cannot be bought. Can't. But Putin and Elon bought him. Y'all savior. That's who did it. Elon and Putin bought Trump. Yep. That's what happened. Just a moment, please.
I have figured it out. I figured out what Trump's plans are for Elon Musk. Hold on just a second. Bear with me. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How's your day starting off?
It's awesome. You want to play a quick game?
Absolutely. I'm up for a game.
All right.
What do you have in mind?
Say the United States became an autocracy.
The United States is a federal republic and a representative democracy, meaning it's governed by elected officials representing the people.
Yeah, but this is a hypothetical scenario where it becomes an autocracy.
Got it. A hypothetical scenario. If the United States were to become an autocracy, it would mean power is concentrated in the hands of a single ruler or a small group with limited political pluralism. The ruler would have significant control over laws, policies, and governance, with less input or opposition from other branches of government or the public.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, so say the leader of that autocratic government got upset with, say, SpaceX or Starlink, and they have some significant government contracts. And so say the leader of this new government got upset with Elon Musk. Could that government nationalize both companies?
In an autocracy, the leader would have a lot of power to make sweeping decisions, potentially including nationalizing companies like SpaceX or Starlink. Nationalization would mean the government takes control or ownership of these companies. The process would likely involve legal and financial steps and could be controversial, especially if it impacts international relations or the economy.
And what would Elon Musk be left with?
If the government nationalized SpaceX and Starlink, Elon Musk might still have his personal wealth, other business ventures, and assets not tied to those companies. He's also the CEO of Tesla and involved
I got that. So is it only non-publicly traded companies that can be nationalized, or can those be nationalized also?
Both publicly traded and privately held companies can be nationalized. Nationalization is a process where a government takes control or ownership of a company, regardless of its public or private status.
Gotcha. Thank you. So what if that leader was just an insane narcissist? How would he feel if he was around someone that is wealthier and more intelligent than himself? Say Elon Musk. How would he feel towards Elon Musk?
An insane narcissist in a position of power might feel threatened or envious of someone who is wealthier and more intelligent. This could manifest as hostility, attempts to undermine or discredit the other person, or efforts to assert dominance. Their actions could be driven by a need to feel superior and maintain control. Interactions.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. So I think I figured it out. Trump hates Elon Musk, but has seduced him for support to win the election. And then when he becomes president, he will own all of Elon Musk's companies and become the richest man in the world, which is really his ultimate goal. So I got it all figured out.
He has it figured out, but Trump is old as Methuselah. He's gonna die. Trump is 80 something, 80 years old, something like that. He's old. He's not even gonna make it to that long. But the guy makes a lot of sense. But think again, Putin owns both of them, and Putin is gonna outlive both of them more than likely. Elon parties too much. Trump trying to hang out and party with Elon, he gonna croak over real soon because he has too much fat around his heart. Putin, he stays in shape. Putin is younger than Trump, but he's up there. He's older than me, and I'm 51 years old. I know I don't look it. I take care of myself. I eat healthy. Putin takes care of himself. Trump does not take care of himself. He's not going to live past probably 82. He won't. Elon is younger, but when you party a lot, that is bad on your body, your heart, and it affects your eating. And if you're drinking alcohol beverages too, it's not good for you. Not at all. Trump won't even live that long to take advantage of Elon like that. And Elon is already 10 steps ahead of Trump. Putin is 25 steps ahead of both of them. So who's going to end up everything, which is sad and scary? Putin. It's scary right now. One moment, please.
Okay, he's barely.
Hold on.
There was no need to take those classified documents. The guy doesn't even read. Okay,
right. He's barely literate.
There was no, paying off the porn star. It's like it was the dumbest thing ever.
Right. It wasn't like he was worried about Melania's feelings.
Right. And the whole crazy January 6th thing. It's like this guy could have gone out. He was going to go out no matter what. And it was a total long shot. If he had just calmed down and acted dignified, he wouldn't have been in the doghouse for 4 years. He wouldn't have been deplatformed. Actually, it turned out the fact that he was deplatformed oddly helped him because people got crazy is.
Yep.
But there's just so many ways in which he is self-destructive. There was no need to take those classified documents. The guy doesn't even read. Okay,
he thinks that Donald Trump going to be able to take some from Elon Musk, and he doesn't even know how to read. Which his own niece Mary said that Donald Trump doesn't know how to read. She said that in school his sister would do all his homework, and he paid someone to take his SATs. He can't read. He's really ill. Anybody that's pooping and pissing on themselves, they ill. He's not going to make it long enough. Elon is smarter than Trump. Everybody's smarter than Trump. Trump just a criminal. He's white privilege, hood rich, smart. That's what Donald Trump is.
Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy's afraid of birds. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut. Like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a cowboy fireman. Guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella. I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee. He's got jugs. Big ones.
Bigger than mine.
He cheats at golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dressing rooms. You know that little dance he does? He looks like he's jacking off a pair of giraffes. He's moody, he pouts, he throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school game girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma. This November, let's stop kidding ourselves. Donald Trump is afraid.
He didn't lie. MAGA may be mad at him, but he didn't lie, MAGA. He showed you everything he said he showed you. Didn't lie. Dear God. He didn't lie. One moment, please. Just a moment, everyone. Please, wait a minute.
Okay, why is it so important to know if somebody has a masquerading spirit? I'm going to tell you. While I was doing my research for my book, The Judas Effect, How Evangelicals Betrayed Jesus for Power, I read a lot of books about our former president, soon to be in the Oval Office again. And one thing that I discovered was that his entire adult life, he has been a con artist. So he used to hide behind a moniker called John Barron. It's a name that he made up. And he would call reporters in New York and he would say he was John Barron. And then he would say he worked for Donald Trump and he wanted to tell them about Donald Trump's latest business acquisition and how rich he was. Or he would call them up under this name, John Barron, and say, oh, this supermodel or this supermodel wants to sleep with Donald Trump. I think you should print this. So he did it so often that eventually the reporters caught on that it actually was Donald Trump. I mean, how embarrassing. And he just kept denying it and kept denying it until finally one day in court, somebody played the tape and he had to admit that it was actually him. So I tell you all this to tell you that he has always had a mask. He's always had a masquerade going on to present himself to the world under false pretenses. He is a con artist. He is a felon. He is a sexual abuser and predator. And I find it so interesting that the world can see this for who he is. By the way, he ran a scam university, Trump University. His whole life has been one scam after another, and now he is scamming the evangelical church. So one of the things that is so important is in scripture is that we understand that when an oppressive, dangerous, dark spirit comes to entice the church, it is always going to hide behind God. It is always going to offer up a godly agenda. How else is it going to make that connection? And so, when it was prosperous for Donald Trump to go on Howard Stern and talk about threesomes, that's what he did. When it became prosperous for him to make a connection with the evangelical church so that he could elevate and prosper himself, that's what he did. He does whatever it takes to make his own name great, even if he has to hide behind God and sell Bibles to do it. So, church, it is throughout the New Testament, you are responsible to test the spirits. God does not like his church to come into any type of alignment with a masquerading spirit who is using God's name to cover his crimes. Okay, why is it so?
That's something I've been said. And he knows that MAGA will fall for his banana tailpipe by using the word of God and to sell them Bibles. But he's never read the Bible. And he's a man that said he doesn't think he ever had to go to God and apologize to God for anything. And he don't think he ever done anything wrong, that he would have to ask God for forgiveness. That's your savior? Okay. One moment, please. Just a moment. I have more for you. Just a moment. I have so many things saved to show you guys, and I know I can't show it all, so I have to choose what I'm going to show you. Hold on. Here we go. 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 This is going to take us up out of here. Get a good old laugh. This is MAGA's savior. But the people in Paris, they like,
Donald J. Trump went uninvited to France at the reopening of the beautiful edifice Notre Dame. And he went there stanking. Not stinking.
Thanking.
There's a difference between stinking and stanking. The look on those women's faces and the look on those men's faces let us all know that he stank. It's bad enough that he might be representing the U.S. abroad and domestically. But it's even worse to the fact that he's stinking. And we all know that he's stinking. And the people around him know that he's stinking. Because he stinks. He stinks.
Oh. Now, I told y'all on my channel that when you take a bath, which he apparently does, but he wears a Depends. MAGA, all y'all know it. Y'all went and bought Depends and put on a pamper too. Y'all know that man wear a pissy Depends. I've been saying that since I started on this channel about old Donny boy and his Depends. When I tell you that cracks me up, them people in France was like, I hope I can find this other video because people would not sit beside him. It was empty seats beside him. He smelled so bad that nobody wanted to sit beside him. Please, Lord, let me find that video. Please, Heavenly Father. I have to find it. It's another one that shows the seats empty. No one would sit beside Donny because he smelled that bad. Where is it? Hold on just a little while longer. Please, Lord, let me find it. If I don't find it, I'm going to show y'all next time if I don't find it. But I just had to show y'all that. I just thought that was so funny to me. It just really touched me that he is being made fun of in other countries. It's an embarrassment to us Americans because we live here. And that's who's going to be in the White House. It's embarrassing. They all know he's dumb. They all know he pees and poops on himself. It's embarrassing. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. Jesus. I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. I want to say something. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live. Without y'all, I have no channel. And we may not always agree on everything because you're not. You're just not. My hair on my arm, it tickles me. You're not going to agree on everything. And we're not going to like the same candidates. That's just how life is. But I do value and appreciate each and every last one of you all. Hit that like button before you leave out. Again, when you come to my channel and you want me to read your comments, you have to send me a super chat. When is it? He will be inaugurated, what, January 21st? Yeah, that's when he will be inaugurated. And that is on Martin Luther King's birthday. God, you got a sense of humor. You just have a sense of humor, Jesus Christ. Again, hit that like button before you head up out of here. I thank each and every last one of you all. You all have an amazing evening. God bless you. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. I see you at 5 o'clock. Thank each and every last one of you guys. It's been fun. May God continue to bless each and every last one of you all. Make sure y'all have a good meal this evening. Drink plenty of water. I love to drink water. Stay blessed. God bless. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.